supposed to support her. They are not releasing them. In 2023, 2020, only 37% of the funds that was bagged in the health insurance levy fund, Kitty, was released to insurance. And so you see that many of the service providers are not paid on time, and they find it difficult to provide support or services to the people in need. And so John Dramani Mahama, the NDC, feels that no individual or no family, none should die in the process of seeking care because that person could not afford healthcare services.
Let me blow your mind off. I saw a video this morning. I wouldn't want to mention the name of the hospital anyway, but it's from the Volta region, because from the background, the people spoke ever and all of that. The guy actually rushed his wife to one of the hospitals there. I think the lady was suffering from high fever or whatever it's called. The nurses refused to attend to such a person, to the point that they had to now finally move the patient from the hospital into a car to a different private hospital altogether, all because they demanded for money.
And she could not afford it. And this is not the first time. You remember in recent times, we also recorded a woman who was sent to Winneba Trauma Hospital. And because she could not have anybody coming out to say, I will pay for your health care, she was just sent out and she went to die. And so we believe John Dramani Mahama and NDC thinks that there are revenue sources that the government continue to get. In the past, when he was in government, only a few oil fields did we have. Now we have seen that there are additions. We are also getting resources from extractive industry. And then aside from that, if we are able the National Health Insurance Levy, it means that we're going to have enough money to take care of healthcare needs of the people.
For a second, let me talk one quick. Because build whatever you are going to do in the next NDC administration on what you have achieved in the past.
That's fine.
Take us through the achievements of the NDC under John Mahama and previously at Amils as well as G. Rawlings.
I think that, thank you very much for the opportunity to discuss health in general. And let me also, NDC looks at health at this full meaning of health. Health is not only healthcare. Health, apart from healthcare, the total well-being of the individual. So right from, as you rightly said, right from Jerry John Rawlings' time, let me take it from the time that he became the civilian president, whatever he did to promote well-being of Ghanaians. And he established, he established a lot of institutions that will address some of the needs and the concerns of Ghanaians. I mean, if I should list them, I'll go to Tamale Teaching Hospital. That one, he used his private money to help establish Tamale Teaching Hospital.
His personal money?
Yes. And we talk about the cardiothoracic unit. I remember I was then in Kolebu. His birthday money he gave to Professor Frimpong Boateng to help establish the cardiothoracic unit now in Kolebu. The cardiothoracic unit is a national asset, but it's still stationed in Kolebu. A lot of things that he did. Come to Professor Atem. I'm just cutting them short because we have a lot to discuss about what NDC wants to do from these great men I've mentioned. Professor Atem established a lot with John Dramani Mahama. The stretch of road between Winneba and Cape Coast and all that, But to be honest with you, let's ask ourselves, did that address the concerns of accidents on that road? Because we know that most cases that happened there, people were flown to Kolebu or 37 Military Hospital. Currently, as I speak to you right now, it's not a trauma hospital. It's a central regional hospital. It's a central regional hospital as we move from Cape Coast to Winneba. These are some of the thinking behind trying to solve issues that confronted Ghanaians. And that Winneba Trauma Hospital, if you want me to go ahead, I'll talk about other infrastructure institutions that the NDC government throughout its history has established. I mean, UGMC has been drummed in everybody's ears. Now it's like a middle name to every Ghanaian. University of Ghana Medical Center. That's I'm talking about Accra. Look at the Bank Hospital. Have you been there?
Yeah.
Look at the services that provide research areas. come to the refurbishment of the Greater Accra Regional Hospital, the Rich Hospital, and what the first and second phases. The idea was to finish the whole place to be a regional hospital ought to be. Of course, these people came in with all the lies and all the promises, and nothing has gone on. I would have gone around, go to the Ashanti region. You know, you listen them, listen them too much. I don't need to repeat some of them here. The 37 military hospital or the military hospital in the Ashanti region, you talk about ordnance. The bit as a kind of minimum number of chip compounds this was talking about to the people. Compound, it's a compound. What's a compound? Take health of people. With that population, there's a certain have to be built. The initial idea of chip compounds was to address maternal deaths. So every chip compound was supposed to have a midwife. How many midwives are in the chip compound?
Was that the original plan?
Yeah. That's the concept. You know, so having babies will be catered for by, apart from it's good to advise on what to do, urging you to come for antenatal. If you find something on blood, which cause men like life, there are certain areas. Men were so NDC government and said that what can we do? So the chip compound, we started it when you go to my village. The chip compound established. It's still in the bush right now. They put cocoa sacks there now as I talk.
Why?
To you. Ask me why. I can call Dr. Nsiansa and ask him why he's doing that. One is going around and saying that he's building Agenda 111. It's a good concept to build hospitals. Who doesn't want to work in a clean environment? Take something that you can finish. They give us a time limit of what they can do to build. First of all, they said Agenda 88. Yeah. And the 88 didn't happen. They gave us 6 months. We're going to finish that. Now it's came Agenda 111. I know the people who brought up this idea and they totted it. It's a beautiful thing that if we did it, ask yourself, how many of these compound hospital Agenda 111 has been built? And if you build them, Honorable maybe was saying that people are leaving the country in droves. Who is going to work there? How are you going to go to it? It's not a shell for a hospital. A hospital comes with other things. Comes with all everything that needs to be a hospital, so that people will feel comfortable working there. I heard my good friend, my junior brother, Napu, Matthew Potin Premier said that we are interested in building mortuaries. That's what he said. Okay. Yes, of course. I want to use the opportunity to tell Napu that the Agenda 111, if they are not building mortuaries, then they shouldn't build it. End of life. Life starts and ends up at death. Everybody says that. So at the end of it, how to take care of the dead? So mortuaries will be built there too, or has to be built there too. Train professionals to man such facilities. Get the requisite equipment for such areas so that we will be able to have quality care. What NDC is looking at, you see, as on our, I don't want to repeat some of the things you said. When H.E. John Mani Mahama went round throughout the country, a lot of things that they told him that Ghanaians wanted. And that was factored into the 2020 manifesto, from which we borrowed in 2024. Okay. So if you look at the 2024, it's just 2020 manifesto and additions of what Ghanaians have told us they wanted to do. So this is what we bring across. You know, there are things. I mean, we talked about baby issues straight into area of non-communicable disease, and the non-communicable disease, for instance, is killing a lot of Ghanaians. I mean, the deaths attributable to non-communicable disease about over 40%.
Yeah,
42%.
Yeah.
Yes, that's over 40%, 42%. And H.E. John Dramani said, can we allow settings to continue? Our lifestyle, the way we live our lives, is affecting all cancers. Later, we'll talk about the effect of Galamsey. Let's leave that for the later part of this program, because I have something to say about it. We have something to say about it. Lifestyle, hypertensive diseases, cardiac diseases, childhood cancers, and a lot of things. H.E. John Mahama said that it go to a special fund. You know, as I said, dialysis is now also another name everybody's talking about. Kidney diseases, when we were practicing, when I was young, and I was practicing. You know, of course, we had kidney disease. Kidney disease will always be there. Kidney failure will always be there. Dialysis is what we need to help others. I heard my good friend, the CEO for the National Health Insurance, say something that they're going to give some free dialysis to a range of people, those under the age of 18 and those above 60. Then I said, well, it's a good thing. Those within that range needed more. They are going to give once in a while. I said, hey, my brother, what are you talking about? It's a good start. Let me give you the credit. But is that what is going to solve the problem? So Mahama Care, as you know about the fund, the trust fund that he wants to establish, was going to take care of those people who have left behind, those who are dying needlessly, whose life we could have saved. These are the things that I'm talking. Our manifesto, or what the first sight of the government, is, the new government that's coming in from 2025 January, is looking at. So there are a lot of things that we can talk about what A.G. Dramani is thinking about. Our achievements have been some of the things I've said. Our achievement we have to build on. Later we'll talk about the quaternary hospital that will be the University of Ghana Medical Center. This new administration that is coming in is thinking of a second quaternary hospital in Kolebu. Kolebu is 101 years. Go see Kolebu. You go to Kolebu, you weep. The maternity block is crumbling. You know, and so A.G. Dramani said, when he comes again, you're going to refurbish Kolebu, make it a proper quaternary hospital.
So it tells me that, yes, the NDC achieved significantly in the health sector. How will you describe the current situation? I mean, in the last 8 years.
I thought you were going to describe that because
no, you should tell me.
Yes.
That's your field. That's your sector. You have been there.
No.
Now, one will also make the argument that yes, the introduction of the agenda 111. There is the National Health Insurance that working. I mean, and all. That's your sector. So tell us.
Okay. Agenda 111 in response to COVID. They said they're going to build us 8. Then the whole healthcare system was, people realized, hey, we have been living in another world. So they said in response to that, they're going to build 88 hospitals. We were all excited. When A.G. John Dramani was building the Gan East Hospital, the one that is it Gan East or Gan East? Yes. Gan East Hospital, the contribution that made to saving lives was significant. Look at Kolebu. You go to Kolebu right now, the ICU, intensive care unit, we realize that even the ventilators were not available. So that's the healthcare that COVID exposed all of us. Let me tell you this. A.G. John Dramani Mahama established a COVID response team. The government quickly established its own national COVID response team. That is good. Let us, in rapid response, let us find a way to respond to that. Let me tell you, let me frighten you. Monkeypox. Monkeypox is in Central and Eastern Africa. We have waited, not put a team together. Now monkeypox is in Ghana. You understand what I'm saying? This tells you preparedness of a government that is responsive to such needs. So monkeypox, have you heard anything about establishing that?
No.
It hasn't happened.
No.
You know, now I heard Sister Mavis talking about cholera. During the time of COVID, we had opportunity. I was at the Flagstaff House with the chairman for the party then, the former chairman, and the general secretary, and I was the third person there. And there were a lot of things, and a lot of parties were there, and I joined them. And we're discussing a lot of these, don't describe them as other parties, were praising John, Akufo-Addo. Then I said, COVID has started. It is raining. Ghana is filthy. Cholera thrives in a filthy environment. Can you just imagine where you have COVID and you have cholera? How are we going to address that? Why don't you clean the environment? I'm not taking any credit for anything, but I believe that maybe they have plans already through Siselapa. They clean the markets. Why are you laughing? they clean the country. They attempted to do that. But you see, you have to have a plan. If you don't have a plan and you think that somebody's idea is what you go to implement, you mess up. They try to clean markets and all that. Because if cholera has set in with COVID at that peak where we were all quarantined, you realize what would have happened. So the health system needs to be reset. That is why the whole manifesto is a resetting Ghana.
Yeah.
Let us start from somewhere. We know we have messed up in every sector. Why do we get back to a level that the respect that we had previously will be restored? So the health sector is not taken out of that. So I think that we're looking at all areas, all assets, because health is in every facility.
Yeah.
Health is in every department. When you talk about agriculture, there's health. And sanitation, there's health. Economy, there's health. Everything, there's health. So if you, the Abuja Declaration told us of how much we should put into health. Yeah. The percentage, 15% of a national budget should go to health. Ask us how much of that goes into health now. If you don't have donor support, does the government plan for it? So I think these are some of the things that we can discuss as we move on with our 2 hours that is remaining.
Very well. So we'll get into the specifics, but Honorable, I want to come back to you. There is also something in your manifesto that talks about free primary health care.
Okay.
Expatiate more on that for us. Throw more light on it.
So thanks very much. Before I go on to that, I just want to state that there is deception in the MPP Agenda 111.
And what is that deception?
People should know about it. I come from the Eastern region, and in recent times, not less than 2 months ago, we got the flag bearer of the MPP, Bawumia, going to His Excellency Bawumia, driving to Achianse to commission a polyclinic, which they term as a hospital. 40-bed capacity polyclinic. After the commissioning activity, the clinic or the polyclinic is still closed with only a watchman manning the gates
of
the hospital.
Me?
Yes, you can just call. Phone in and call
What's the name of the town?
Achianse in Eastern Region.
Okay.
He came to commission the facility because, like my colleague said, they had not planned for anything. They only wanted to deceive the voting population to get votes. And as I speak with you, this number of hospitals are going on in a number of areas. But have they planned for the professionals that will man the facility? Already, of nurses, and they are still sitting at home. You know, about 3 months ago, they came out and said they were going to give clearance to them. Ask the nurses whether they've been given clearance. They are still
15,000.
15,000 because Sikanoe.
It is Sikaso.
Sikanoe. Unfortunately, these nurses are sitting at home, and then a commissioned Agenda 111 at Achianse is closed. That is a deception that you're giving to the people. And then let me come back to the idea of giving dialysis to the voting population. They said even those people that they are giving the dialysis, they will ensure that it's only 6 months, from July to December. So my dear, they just want your vote. After voting for them, you wouldn't get anything from them. These are deceptive people. But let me tell you, John Dramani Mahama is a trustworthy man. He is a visionary. He talks, he walks the talks. And so we believe that whatever he's presenting, he will ensure that he delivers to the people of this country. And now let me go back to free primary health care. Globally, it's been known that countries that implement free primary health care are able to achieve universal coverage of health care. That means that the entire population will have access to health care. And John Dramani Mahama feels that it is so much a challenge at the moment when people have lost their jobs because of mismanagement, when mothers cannot use their health insurance card to receive care for their own children, health insurance premium that they have paid for. They go to healthcare facilities and they say, it does not cover medication, it does not cover lab, it does not cover this and that. So John Dramani Mahama and his team sat down and said, No, this time when I'm given the opportunity, of which we know that in 2025, January, he's going to be our president. He's going to use the country's money, the country's resources to provide primary health care free of charge to everyone. You don't necessarily have to have health insurance card. You don't necessarily have to have money. The rich will be catered for and the poor will also be catered for. He's thinking about the poorest of the poor. Majority of our population lives in the rural areas. And as you have known, farmers go to clinic and they say, no, you don't have access to it because the health insurance card is not working. Providers have not been paid for the services they offer to health facilities and to the population. And so John Dramani Mahama thinks that when he comes to office, he's going to ensure that at the sub-district level, anyone that goes there, whether an adult, whether an old person, whether a child, whether a woman or a man, you will have access to free primary health care. So CHIPS compound, there will be free primary health care. When you go to a health center, there will be free primary health care. When you go to polyclinic, there will be free primary health care. People are thinking about what will cover the free
Yes, I was going to ask you, what exactly is the the primary health care, if you're talking about primary health care?
The basic services that are provided at the sub-district level will be covered by the free primary health care policy. And so when you go for antenatal, delivery, normal delivery, postnatal, diarrhea management, like we are seeing people having cholera, they can go to the health center, and in John Mahama's era, next John Mahama's administration, they will have health care free of charge.
I'm going to be
their medication, normal checks, going to check your normal sugar, normal BP. You can just walk into any health facility. And because of that, in an extension to that, John Dramani Mahama and the NDC are proposing another package of policy that will ensure that every market, every lorry station, major one, of course, we're going to start with the major ones. We are going to have market clinics that will be available for traders, drivers that will apply, the area, travelers, and all those people that use the market facility.
So, for instance, you go to the Madina market, there will be a clinic.
There will be a clinic. And so if you are selling, if you are a trader, you don't necessarily have to leave your wards and then go and queue in health facility, because health will be a workplace. And then this is going to be manned by professionals. So you can go there, you can check your BP, you can go and assess postnatal care, even weighing for children. What the women call it weighing. Postnatal care services, and then immunization of children. It works to your workplace at the market. So going to shop, you can decide to use that opportunity to go to that place. And if you're whilst you have your vehicle waiting to be loaded by the people, you can just walk into the place, the clinic, and then access your health.
And I think that will also reduce the pressure on
it's going to reduce
the bigger hospitals.
Exactly. It's going to reduce the pressure. It's also going to allow people not to waste time wasting. And one of the things linked to this is also providing opportunity for students in secondary schools to have clinics. So the sick bays in secondary schools are going to be upgraded to clinics. So we're going to set up satellite clinics for hospitals that are close by into the schools, so that when these hospitals, these clinics are manned by professionals, if it requires that the student or the teacher needs referral, they can easily refer the person. The situation where students die because they don't get early attention of care, it's going to be a thing of the past under next John Dramani Mahama.
So that's
and
basically about the
NDC
free primary
administration.
health care.
Free primary health care for all, at all levels.
Well,
No, not at all levels, but at sub-district levels.
levels.
Let me just add to a little bit of a free
Okay,
care.
but I would also want you to tackle, you earlier mentioned the Mahama cares.
Yeah.
If you can expand it for us, let's understand
Expand
properly
the care for
what
you.
that
Okay.
means as well.
All right, I'll come back to it, but let me add to the free primary health care what she said right now. You don't need to have a national health insurance card. I think she said it somehow. You don't need to have a national health insurance card
What
to
do you need?
access. For instance, now you go to hospital, you don't have money, you have to provide your national health insurance card. At that level of care, you don't necessarily have to have it. You go there, you have to be seen and treated for free.
And given medication
yes,
free.
beyond the level of where you are, you refer to a specialist hospital, the regional hospitals and all that. That is the free primary health care. The Mahama care concept. I said that.
Something just came up, and I want to get clarity on it.
Please do.
Is it limited to just Ghanaians, or it covers everybody in Ghana?
That is my understanding.
Okay.
It's a Ghanaian program.
Okay.
But everybody living in Ghana, I don't think no human being should be denied health care.
Okay.
Yeah.
To start with, even without this, no human being in an accident, in an emergency, should be denied health care.
Very well.
Yeah.
So that is the basic principle of health
Okay.
and the health care. So those who are not Ghanaians and living here, please, when you are in emergency, get
can
your
go
hospital
there.
and get
Yeah.
support.
Yeah.
After that, if there's anything to be done, or some referrals or some payments, then it can be settled. But coming to the Mahama
Care.
case, it's a trust fund that is going to be set up.
Okay.
And already we've calculated how much we will need to start it off. There are a lot of donors who are interested that if this thing happens, how much money will go to this kitty? Let me tell you, I said 40 to 42% of all deaths are attributable to non-communicable diseases, and I mentioned some of them. Yeah, the chronic diseases, the diseases that breast cancers, hepatitis, cases that are chronic. Sometimes you drive along the streets in Ghana, you find some women holding children with some tumors.
Yeah.
Sometimes they need just a little bit to get to treatment. All those things would, if you see it, even as a non-doctor, you see it and you say that, what are we doing in this country? What are we doing that cannot help such people? You go to Kolebu, right, and that Kolebu Children's Block had a department, the children's department, where they were treating childhood cancers. They were Beckett's tumor. Those treatments were sponsored by some American company. Currently, as I talk to you right now, that has stopped coming for the past 15 years or so. If it's more than 15 years, maybe I'm an old man. So I left it some time ago. But at least some of these cases can be managed, can be treated. So this fund will cater for some of these. I'm not saying that it will cater for all non-communicable diseases, but at least the basic one that we find in our community will help treat that. So this is a good concept. Me, I didn't even like the name they gave it, a very fancy name, but established Ghana Medical Care Trust Fund. Hey, I want to go with Mahama Care. This is his dream, and let us credit him with that. It's Mahama Care.
So doctor, let me cut you in.
Yeah.
You are saying that you don't like the name given to us.
No,
but
I
you
like
were
it.
Part of the
I
team.
like it. I like it, but I'm
Yes.
so
No, but you
happy.
prefer the Mahama Care.
Oh,
Of course,
man.
it's
It
easy to be
raised for me
understood.
that someone who had dreamt it. We planned it. We did it together.
But what's the initial name?
That
Ghana Medical Care
Trust
Trust
Fund.
Fund.
Okay.
Ghana Medical Care. If you're comfortable.
That will be too long for us to
Oh
mention.
yeah,
Like
use
get
Mahama
fund.
Care and you are there.
So instead of
but
using,
this one, because
Do you
it's an initiative of President John Dramani Mahama.
You know Mahama Care, Obama Care.
Obama
yes,
Care.
so it's a similar thing, right? Okay,
Yeah.
very well.
So you see, so that is it. It's going to take care of such chronic diseases, subchronic non-infectious diseases, non-communicable diseases. And we think that with that, we'll be able to reduce it. Some of the things that Mabel said here, I think Mavis, I've known her for more than 20 years. So I said Mabel, I mean Mavis. So, some of the things that she said here, when you treat the community very well, OPD attendance is reduced by 60%.
Okay.
So the amount of money and the amount of time that you use in a hospital will reduce. Taking healthcare to the people. You understand? Some of the things that I
Reduces
heard the MPP government wants to do, saying that, advising that, let everybody go to health facilities to check your BP and sugar. Go there and check it. And this is say, no, we are bringing it to you. That's the difference. So for you to get up and walk to a health facility, we are bringing it close to you. She talked about the market
Clinics.
hospitals. You talk about the
Market
Lorry Park clinic hospital clinics. You talk about the lorry station clinics right there before you. A lot of these drivers are driving around without knowing their hypertension.
Yeah.
You go there, check your BP. Hey, you cannot drive. You understand? We're going to look at it at a broader concept of occupational health.
Yeah.
Occupational health, that this category of individuals need this special care before they can function. So bringing health to the people. You understand? So these are some of the things that we're thinking AG Dorman has asked us to do. And we have put it in a manifesto. He's done it before. Trust he will do it again.
Very well. Well, if you're just tuning in, this is the Campaign Chronicles. We're discussing the health sector captured in the NDC's 2024 manifesto. It's just an upgrade of what we saw in 2020, put it. But we'll take a quick breather. When we return, we'll get into more of the specifics.
Yes.
I'm particular about funding. Looking at the current economic situation of the country, how does the NDC intend to fund some of these projects that they are talking about? Stay with us here on Wezo TV.
Okay. So,
sugar-free, freshly squeezed fruit juice? Choose Greenline fruit juice and smoothies filled with vitamin C, calcium, iron, fiber, and zinc. Every drop of Greenline juice and smoothies is naturally made to give you energy, good health, and refreshment. Enjoy your favorite Greenline orange, pineapple passion, watermelon, pineapple and turmeric, pineapple beetroot, pineapple and ginger, and healthy green. Greenline fruit juice and smoothies, powered by nature.
Prior to entering University of Ghana, I had to work to gather some money because my dad is not able to go to the farm anymore. It's my mom who is able to at least work small to cater for the family. There's no hope of getting any support from them, and I knew that, so I worked as a security guard to gather something small so that at least when I get admission, I'll be able to support myself in a way. As a security guard, I worked at an apartment in Jowlu. Yes, so I met a man there who offered to help me in paying for my school fees. Yeah, so when the admission came, he gave me part of the money. He did his best. But I had to even go to my senior high school to see some of the teachers I am free with, and I spoke with some of them, and they also helped. They gave me some money, and I put it together. I was able to pay for my school fees and then register for the courses. I just picked my bag. I went straight to campus without anything in my pocket. Like, all the money is gone. I've not been able to even buy provisions for myself, like nothing. So I just went, and it was like difficult. It was much difficult living on campus without food, without anything. So the no fee stress is a good policy. So imagine me getting the opportunity to benefit from that policy. I wouldn't have spent all the money I got from working as a security to pay for school fees. So my advice to young people like me who have to work as security people, as maids, as gardeners, before they can come to school, because there's nothing at home, like the family is not what to do. They have to go through a lot of struggles before they can make ends meet. My only advice to these people is that on December 7th, they should look for John Dramani Mahama anywhere he is on the ballot paper. That humble gentleman, that visionary man, to vote for him to come into power January, so that their worries and their woes, their struggles will all come to an end.
my for granted. Oh my no, oh my no, Yansena Jose. Oh my for granted.
Don Mahama waya 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 waya.
Stay with us here on Wazot TV. Remember, this is the Campaign Chronicles program where we delve into the various policy proposals captured in the NDC's 2024 manifesto. Today, we're talking about the plans they have for the health sector as well. I have with me Honorable Mavis Amma Frimpong, who is the chairperson of that particular committee that worked on the policy proposals for the NDC 2024 manifesto, and also Dr. Kuma's team, who appear. Maybe one day I should have an exclusive with you, so you tell us the meaning of this name, the STEAM. And the STEAM is spelled S-T-E-E-M.
STEAM. Just two E's.
Yes. S-T-E-E-M.
After, behind the scenes,
you tell me about it. Proudly supported by the Green Line products, freshly squeezed juice. They have in stock pineapple, ginger, beetroot, watermelon, ginger, pineapple, passion, pineapple, turmeric, and fresh. Located here in Accra, Tesano, near the Sun Lodge Hotel. You can contact them on 0771 Black Stars game at 1. Grab one for yourself and avoid any shortfall. We delve into the other issues. I hope you tasted this.
Yeah, it's so nice.
To be honest with you, I take ginger, turmeric,
okay,
and lemon in my tea every morning.
Okay.
And every night before I sleep.
So you know that.
So yeah, I know about turmeric, the effect, the benefits of ginger.
Okay.
Yeah, I do that.
And I like smoothies.
Okay.
Because it's healthy, and without even. I would also want to add my voice to say that anyone watching us, you need to go and try.
Very well. I'm grateful. So I'll start with you on the whole issues about funding before we went on the break. Quite a number of other things the NDC will roll out, but the few that we have intend to get funding for this.
Okay. So let me start. Any country that is serious about its development prioritize health. Because without no one, we cannot reset the country. And so President John Dramani Mahama, together with NDC, that prioritizing health will help us to be able to reset. And so the challenge that we have, even with the health insurance levy, I just want to mention the viewers that are into money that into the national levy kit. Only 37 released to the cent. The rest of the money went to, maybe it went to the National Cathedral.
No, it went to Russia and Ukraine.
Or maybe some people use that money to rent aeroplane and then bathed in the air. So I don't know where that money went to. But let me also state that in 2023, the National Health Insurance Levy collected 5.4 billion Ghana cedi. Only 2 billion was released for health activities. The remaining 3.4 billion Ghana
can be accounted for.
It can be accounted for. We don't know where that money went to. And so any serious government like John Dramani Mahama, if he wants to make sure, who wants to make sure that money is channeled into health, we believe that he can do it. And let me tell you where he's going to get the money from. One is to decap or uncap the National Health Insurance levy, so that every amount that is collected into that release for health, 4 billion is released directly into health. Okay, not only thinking of diversifying funding for health, and one of the areas that we have discussed, which I need to mention, is that there are so many revenue sources. He's not going to introduce it for health or free primary, no introduction of free primary health care. But he thought he's going to prioritize revenue accrued from the extractive industry that comes to the national kitty. So he's going to ensure that he will use legislation to get a percentage of that money to be channeled into the health insurance fund, so that we'll be able to cover that. And like my colleague also said, we are also expecting that, of course, there are donor partners that are willing to support us. Not only that, we are also going to invite the private sector to come and partner with the government, so that the services that are provided by government, the private sector can also bring in investment to support health. And so we believe that whatever President John Dramani Mahama, together with the NDC, has said will come to pass, because thought through ideas, review of documents, research, and a vast discussion has gone through. I mean, we have discussed and we know that there is money, and we'll be able to provide resources to support the health sector. Because when the health sector does well, it will trickle down of development.
You mentioned in Tourism Hub, health sector. You also pick on a few aspects. The issue of the lean from the country tend to.
Let me frighten you in 1989. But then of my classmates, I said, that's all right. That's all right. The number of Ghanaian doctors in the New York City, I'm not talking America, New York City was more than Ghanaian doctors working in Ghana. Does that ring a bell to you? Almost all my classmates, well, one of my classmates, my wife, we stayed. Anyway, so so the brain drain started long ago, right? And we delved into why were people leaving? Where are the opportunities that people, if they had in a country, they would have stayed? Some of them have been addressed. Some still too have not been addressed. We have looked at this when we were discussing the manifesto. What are we going to do? Now there's a postgraduate college. Most people wanted to leave this country to go and Thank you. So now we have the Ghana Postgraduate College. Yes, we have it there, even for the nurses and for doctors as well. We have all that. Recently, we were told that by beginning of the year to June, we had about how many? 60,000? How many people, nurses had left?
Nurses is 6,000.
6,000 nurses had left. I
That's
work
from
in the hospital.
January to June, July.
June, yeah. I work in a hospital. I am managing 19 hospitals in the country. Every month I have to employ new nurses because they are all living in droves. Ask yourself why. How can you regularize that? So in our manifesto, we have found a way. How do we make sure that those you have trained, of course we are going to train more. Those you have trained, how do we manage this drain? There's something called brain gain or brain circulation. Yeah, so that Philippines have done that. Bangladesh has done it. Other countries are doing it. And they're benefiting hugely. Philippines makes, I don't know how many billions of dollars they make in exporting nurses. MPP started by exporting nurses to Barbados. And they exported the specialized, those who are specialized in certain. Ask me, how many of them to the US or structure? We're saying that, what can we do to structure this? Currently, as I'm speaking, if I'm not lying, nurses and midwifery, if I'm lying, please help me. 75,000 nurses are sitting at home. And we are going to train more. We are training more. The nursing institution have, and now they say when they open the window, they're going to employ 15,000. So those at home frustrated. How are we addressing that? Okay? So find a way. When we were able to expand clinics and hospitals, of course, most of them will be absorbed. You know, when we also give an opportunity to be trained, now we are going to have an opportunity to train nurses to a level. When you go to this UHAS, right?
Yeah.
University of Health and Allied Science, the head of that hospital is a nurse. It's a professor now. NGC is going to encourage that, specifically help some of them who want to attain that height, you know, to have it and maintain them here. So these are some of the areas we are talking about, brain drain. How do we gain some of these, the brains that have left this country? When you go to most of these developed countries, they call them developed, most of these developed countries, we find a lot of Ghanaians who would want to come and work in Ghana. How are we prepared to receive them? So if we build such quaternary hospitals with such expertise that they have developed in the countries where they work, won't they come and help? It will move into the health tourism thing that Baby is talking about. The first health tourism site was built was a cardiothoracic unit. I was working in Kolebu, and people were coming from all over West Africa and Africa to have treatment in Ghana.
And NDC built it.
Yes, of
NDC.
course, John Mahama helped Professor Frimpong Boateng and they built it. But these challenges we are not going to discuss today. But I think the National Health Cardiology, what can we do in Ghana today to help this thing also being replicated in parts of the country? See, the quaternary hospital I talked about that we have in Legon, Kolebu is going to have it. Komfo-Anokye is going to be renovated to a level where it's befitting a teaching hospital, a modern teaching hospital. Navrongo War Memorial Hospital.
What we have currently, isn't it?
I worked in a teaching hospital. If you ask me, I've been around a lot.
Okay.
And I know what teaching hospitals ought to do.
Okay.
For instance, let me give you one simple example, because I work for women. If you do normal vaginal delivery in a teaching hospital, that is not teaching hospital. Normal vaginal delivery can be done in polyclinics. You understand?
Even CHIPS compound.
You can do that, but you go to Kolebu, we are treating malaria. So let us say that, well, let's up our game a little bit to a level, have all these specialists that we have trained and continue to train. When you go to Kolebu, a lot of professors. You understand? Let us do it in a way that we can get the benefit of all these people. I mentioned Navrongo War Memorial Hospital, the northern part of it, where you can train pharmacists, doctors, nurses, you know, all specialties in that area. When you do that, when you expand it in such a way, apart from the one we are building in the Oti region, you know, and the Hoho and all that, what you are doing is that you would have spread the health professionals to all parts of this country. And sometimes when you find them in all parts of this country, when they finish training, most of them are likely to retain them. I'm not saying 100%, but you can get most of them there. When Tamale started, at the third year, after they come to South to continue there, now they do everything for the whole 6 years, they do it in Tamale. Most of them are addressing the health needs of the three northern regions. Savannah, northern, help me. They're four.
Yeah.
Okay, all the 5 northern regions,
5.
including Upper West and Upper East,
West.
Savannah, you know, what they call the north and all that. So you find some of these doctors already working there. If you expand it throughout the country, what you are doing and turn some of them to teaching also, what you are trying to do is that you are spreading health training through all that. If you want to, I lived and grew up in Sekindi. If you want a hospital, we heard that they're going to, NPP said in the agenda, I don't know which one again, 222-888-111, they're going to turn it to a teaching hospital. If they did that, you know, it will spread the specialization to that part of the world. So I think that these are some of the important issues that we talk about. And the welfare of nurses and doctors and health professionals.
You mentioned earlier that found out the reasons why the doctors were leaving.
Oh, yeah, because
Is it about welfare as well?
Welfare is one. I mean, when you talk to them, welfare is one. Training opportunities to specialize also is another one. And also, when you come to a hospital where you have been trained, and you know what we do in Ghana? Most of the medical schools, after third year or fourth year, they travel for a period of time and come back. And they see the facilities you can work with. You've been trained on such facilities, you cannot find them. Okay. Is that frustrating? For every doctor, there's no doctor or nurse. That's why sometimes I feel that the journalists, sometimes you people do too much. They said they went to a hospital and the care, basic things for healthcare is not available. So somebody said, I was trained, I've been trained well, I cannot work this equipment. You know, so some of this frustration, and welfare is part of it. The cash is also part of it. I hear people are saying that when John Dramani will cancel the nursing training allowance,
True.
and then I want to look straight into this camera and tell my friends, the nurses, that that is not true. John Dramani is not going to cancel your alawa. What it's actually going to do for you is that it's going to continue it, but as it upgrades the nursing training colleges into tertiary institutions, you're also going to benefit some of the loans that teaching hospitals get, so that you don't only live on allowances, but you also have loans that you'll be able to, because they want to upgrade the training institutions to a
tertiary institution,
so that you come out with a degree. Because what I'm saying is that we want to encourage the nurses to have a higher level of education. The first point of call for any hospital is a nurse. Why don't you think that they need a higher form of education for him to address some of the concerns that we have? So these are some of the things that, so nurses, please, from today, or from John A.G. Dramani has said it, you think it's on a campaign platform, eh? That's why he's saying it. No, he means it. He's not going to cancel your allowance. Last time I heard our good friend, your friend, Baumia.
He's not my friend.
It's not your friend, okay.
He's not.
Okay, thank you. And so it's saying that he's paid all the allowances, and a young lady, fortunately I met this lady in Techiman as well.
Okay.
And raised her hand.
The girl
and
who
said
asked
that-
the question?
The one who asked the question. And he was embarrassed. I think from then he sat down and said he's now going to consult the finance. You see, do your homework well, your friend, Baumia, before you go there and start talking. Because people are clever. People now can expose you and embarrass you. But we are saying that it's not going to be cancelled. It's good to help them. But how many? Yesterday, I got another thing on my phone. Somebody said that 4 years, and she's now finished school. They didn't receive any allowance. So if you say that and these guys have been there for almost close to 8 years, right? Yeah. So it means the time that they entered and finished, they received no allowances. So please, let's be factual with these people. Let's be truthful. If you cannot afford it, explain to them. Yeah. You see, people are understanding. Explain to them that this is the situation where we have this, we have messed up, we chopped all your money, we've messed you totally. But we are going to help you. We're going to do that. Yeah. And A.G. Dramani is truthful. Please go ahead.
Doctor, let me add a little to
Once I
what
take
Doctor
my
has
juice.
stated already. John Dramani Mahama is only going to add on degree programs to the
degree
nursing,
awarding facility. Yeah.
degree awarding programs.
Yeah.
So the diploma is not going to be cancelled.
Okay.
Once you are completing the forms to be admitted into the school, you have the opportunity to decide whether you are going to do a diploma or a degree.
Just as we have in the other tertiary institutions.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So he's not going to cancel that. He's not going to cancel your alawa. He's going to add on and also introduce
Beautiful.
the loan. But so all those that are waiting.
So it is not just the traditional universities.
It's not just the traditional
even the training colleges.
Training colleges, nursing training colleges, and teachers training colleges are going to have that as well. So if you're going to enter any nursing training institution, in 2025, John Dramani Mahama, together with NDC government, is going to pay your fees, your first year fees, and then afterwards you can continue with your alawa and of course your loans.
Very well. Doc, so let's wind up on that quickly before Honorable comes in again with the tourism hub as well. The welfare. Is there an assurance that, look, there's going to be increase in salaries, bungalows,
don't go there.
cars? You know, this makes the worker so relaxed to exile, because you're sending a doctor, like you mentioned, who is trained outside. He's seen almost everything available to him.
No,
you bring
here,
him and you send him to some, somewhere around the OT enclave. Access to road becomes a problem.
Please use my village.
Where is your place?
Anumabo.
Use my region, Afram Plains.
Okay, very well. Exactly. So
Okay.
you can also imagine Afram Plains.
Yeah, okay. Well, what I'm saying is that, yes, I mean, I don't know about salary increases and all that. What goes into increases salaries? I didn't, that's not in the manifesto.
Okay.
I cannot talk to it about that. But sometimes some of the basic needs of the person who is qualified okay, to practice. I qualified a year after my wife qualified. It took us 3, 4, 5 years before we got a vehicle, to buy one small vehicle to use for ourselves. This time we're saying that they're going to give you a soft loan, or maybe when you even import your car, they're going to maybe waive the taxes on it and the levy on it so you can have a vehicle. And it's for oil health professionals. That existed in the 90s during the time of Rollins. Of course, unfortunately, some of us abused that situation, and we find ourselves that now you have to pay for your own to know that. It's going to be brought back, you understand? So some of these things will motivate people. And also, if you have the whole country developed, why wouldn't I go and work in Axim? The last time I went to Axim, there was only one doctor in the government hospital. So I asked the guy, are you crazy? Why are you here as the only doctor? Of course, he has been there for some time. His pride is, I'm the doctor, did this. I said, please, cry out more so that get people to come and work with you. If facilities are working, your education